NTA Abeokuta, station for the young and the old. NTA Abeokuta, solid as the rock.
Leadership is about motivating members of a team to act towards achieving a common goal. Such motivation is what any organization desirous to be at the apex of its game requires, in order to remain relevant in today's competitive market. The name Olufunmilayo Wakama Nikoka is a household name in Nigeria. This continuously ringing name served Nigerians through the NTA, especially gracing the national television screen as network newscasters for decades.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on the NTA Network News for tonight. I am Fumi Wakama.
See Fumi as a delight on the TV.
She's an ace broadcaster, a professional par excellence, somebody that's very active in what she's doing. And when you are talking of media and publicity, she's one of the first to be reckoned with in this country.
Apart from the fact that her beautiful face never escaped public attention, her charisma, aura, outstanding leadership skills and exposure in the media leaves her indelible groups on different organizations and bodies where she served in different capacities and platforms. Chief Press Secretary to former Governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, and Media Manager, Program and Outreach, International Republican Institute, an agency under the United States government, USAID, are a few of the terrains she traversed.
Fumi Wakama, just such a very industrious and innovative personality who makes something happen out of nothing. Because before her coming into NTA Abeokuta, the station was more or less living in past glory. But now in the entire Southwest, NTA Abeokuta has become a household name.
She's somebody who believes that the sky is big enough for all birds to fly without hurting each other.
Very competent, very hardworking, and resourceful, and also very accommodating.
With such vast experience spanning over 30 years in broadcasting, her elevation and deployment to NTA Channel 12 Abeokuta as General Manager was more than deserving.
It came as a surprise to me because I remember that the DG had come here on a courtesy visit to the former governor, and I was to facilitate that visit, which I did. And as soon as we got back to Abuja, within that week, less than 1 week, I was told I was going to be moved to NTA Abeokuta as General Manager. I was surprised. My first question was why? I hadn't even recovered from the 4 years I spent as the Chief Press Secretary to the then governor. But civil service being what it is, 2 days later I just got the letter and I was asked to proceed and resume on Monday. I got my letter on a Thursday, I resumed here on a Monday. I didn't know what I was coming to meet, nothing whatsoever, no idea. So, as a journalist, you must always be prepared. So I proceeded, came into NTA Abeokuta, met with the management staff, had meeting with each department to do an assessment of their challenges. After having gotten a good picture of what was going on, I then met with staff of NTA Abeokuta and appealed to them for support. And together, we started the journey.
She assumed duty to meet myriad of challenges.
If we were to start talking about what we met on ground, it would be a disservice to my predecessor, and I wouldn't want to do that. I believe any form of administration is a continuum. I have never believed that, when you get to a place, you throw your hands in the air, see what I met on ground, see what I met on ground, hey, no money. No. That's why you were sent there in the first place. So you pick up the gauntlet and you run with it. And that was exactly what we did here.
She could have requested for redeployment, but with a penchant for problem solving, she decided to stay.
Remember, the newsroom was here in Ogbe. They will package their news and take to Egunya, the transmitting station. I didn't see how that was going to work. As a producer, you must be outside the studio because anything can happen. It is your bulletin. You'll be held responsible and liable. So how do you produce a bulletin and then you are thousands of miles away? I just didn't understand it. You know, but they say, oh, that's how we've been doing it. In my mind, I'm like, this has got to change. The support of the management team. On a Friday, I just called the then manager admin. I said, go and get me a vehicle. Big vehicle. He said, for what? Just go and bring the vehicle first. He brought the vehicle. I said, oh yeah, everything inside. Egunya straight. So prior to that time, we had prepared ground. We found somewhere we felt was suitable, you know, that would accommodate reporters, producers, and what have you. So we got someone in-house to do the painting for us. Hey, come, we were on lean budget. If I had to spend my money at that time. But because I had confidence that we were going to get to El Dorado, I wasn't bothered. I wasn't. So I spent my money. We renovated the place the best we could. And then we just shipped everything down to Egunya. So the news guys came in the morning on Monday morning. The place was empty. And they were like, what happened here? The then MNCA came to me. GMA. I said, your office is now in Egunya, where you belong. I called the then CTO. CTO, you have no place here in Ogbe. This is admin premises. You have no business here. You're supposed to be in Egunya. That's where we had machines. And you are supposed to man and service those machines.
Her passion and determination to fix the numerous challenges became her mission. And so she reeled out a template.
Because of the challenges of our radiating frequency at that time, I had to quickly sit with the management team. We need to think outside the box. If we are going to compete effectively in this market, we need to bring something extra to the table. So I saw one of their young and very dynamic engineers. I called him into my office, spoke with him, tried to get his level of appreciation on computer, ICT, and all of that. Because before I came in here, I had set up my own website myself. I took my iPad and gave to him. I say, see, young engineer, you see this? I did this myself. I want something superlative from you. I want a website for NTA Abeokuta. I want all social media platforms for NTA Abeokuta. I want Twitter, I want Instagram, I want Facebook, I want YouTube, everything and anything you can lay your hands upon, I want. So there you are, go and get me something beautiful. I give you 2 weeks. You won't believe it. In less than 24 hours, the guy sent me usernames and passwords to everything. And there began our journey on the superhighway for NTA Abeokuta.
No distant time, she brought back the lost glory of NTA Abeokuta.
The station that had been known for not remitting statutory deductions like 25% fiscal responsibility, VAT, and other statutory deduction under our watch. We've been remitting 100% consistently.
Training and capacity building. This is paramount to Mrs. Fumiwakama. For instance, in-house training was prioritized. Enough offices equipped with computer systems. This one make our job very easy.
A lot of things, a lot of transformation, a lot of development has taken place within the news department. Before we know it, we started running a digital transmission of our daily news.
Before our arrival, we are holding our casual workers, some 3 months, some 5 months. But immediately she came in, she asked us to pay at least a month out of the backlog. And ever since then, till date, she has not been holding any casual worker.
Talk about infrastructure. A lot of things have been done to make sure that we migrate, so to say, from the analog system into a digital system.
Fumi Wakama is the 21st General Manager of the 40-year-old station, NTA Abeokuta.
For the glory of God, we've been very prudent. We've been able to do quite a lot of things. I've even lost count of computers that we've bought since I became General Manager. Because you see, who does writing of papers anymore? We don't do that anymore. Editing suites, I've lost count. We now have a playback machine. Literally, you can say that a reporter has an editing suite to himself. That is in addition to the ones we used to stream. That is in addition to the ones that we have for the programs people to use. When I came, as at that time, they hadn't had light, public power supply, for 7 years. Until last year when we were about to clock 40. And I said, we can't continue like this. Luckily, I know the chairman of IBDEC. So I reached out to him. Uncle, I'm general manager in NTA Abeokuta. Oh, really? Since when? 2 years ago, sir. Sir, why I called you? We have a big challenge. What is it? What do you want? More light in my station. Really? I said, yes. What happened? How long? By then, it was 9 years. 2 + 7, right? He said, what happened? I said, truth be told, we were owing, so they disconnected us. Please, I need you to help me. My anniversary is next week. It will be embarrassing for me to have guests here, and then there is no light. He said, okay, we'll see what we can do. If you don't hear from me in 12 hours, please call me back. Honestly, before I got to the office, by 8 o'clock, IBDEC staff were here, all crawling all over the premises, doing their survey and everything. In less than 24 hours, we had light. Staff who had been employed within those 9 years had never seen public power supply in NTA Abeokuta. By the time they finished their connection, it was around 7:30 to 8 at night. Come and see them erupt in jubilation. Because they had never seen public power supply in 9 years. We then sat with IBDEC and worked out something that allowed us to exit the debt, and honestly, to the glory of God, we've not owed them 1 kobo since then. In addition to that, we now have a metering system here and at Egunya, so now we pay what we consume. So it's so easy, very convenient for the two parties. We have vast land in Ogbe here, you can't even believe it. And we are open, vulnerable, And I said, this cannot continue, not with the way things are going all around us, That means we're open to the element. Anybody can just walk in here and do whatever it is they like, So first thing I did, reached out to the police command. The then CP was very supportive. Subsequent CPs after him have also been very supportive, talking about Iliasu, Makama, they've been very, very supportive. They really assisted us and deployed their men to guard NTA Ogbe and also in our premises at Egunya. In addition to them coming with their rifles and all, they even have police dogs. So, that's the support we got from them. But we felt that wasn't enough. We needed to protect them as well. So we went to town, talked to people, started donating blocks. So, to the glory of God today, to cut a long story short, our immediate perimeter has been fenced. Another one that comes to mind readily is water supply. Fortune smiled on us. We met with Ogun River Basin Development Authority. Started doing business with them. Yeah, they'll pay for their services, like that. And I said, look, sir, to the MD, I'd like for my management and I to pay you a courtesy visit. And he said, okay, no problems. When would you like to come? We set a date. We met. And I pitched to him our challenges, our successes, benefits accruable to them if they do business with us. Fortune smiled on us. He agreed. He said, okay, I'll help you. Following day, early in the morning, it was raining cats and dogs. This man sent his people here. Just came with all their machinery and everything. And the whole place, they started, digging the borehole. The whole place started vibrating with the drilling.
Typical of her, she running the place as her personal business. The pioneer staff of the station attested to her managerial acumen when they tasked themselves to purchase a vehicle for the station. An uncommon demonstration of solidarity with an achiever.
Sending Mrs. Fumi Wakama to NTA Abeokuta on a rescue mission. And from all consideration, to a large extent, in spite of the lean and scarce resources, she has justified the assignment that the DG had given to her.
For me, well, she's a very reliable and responsible woman. See, Abeokuta, she has turned it round. Before, you could only watch Abeokuta within the environment here. But since she assumed duties, we can now watch NTA Abeokuta and the whole of Abeokuta, outside Abeokuta, nationwide and also over the world.
The question is, how was she able to achieve so much in 3 years?
I'll skip some little trade secrets as to how we're able to sustain. Go and check our website. Go and see what we're doing there. Up to date, up to the minute. Sports, entertainment, business, news, politics, name it. Everything is there.
No doubt, leadership is about hard decisions, which could make one step on toes. Some members of staff feel this way.
She worked on our transmitter from 0.9 kilowatts of vision, 0.1, sometimes 0.0 watts of sound. She moved us to about 3.2 to 3.5.
This past 3 years, she's done a lot of things in terms of sales for the station. She made NTA Abeokuta Marketing Department the toast of NTA generally.
She's a nice person. She's friendly. She's a mother. She's a sister. You see, you cannot detach her from her career, because when she sees the seriousness in you, in that line of her career, in fact, you are a good friend to her.
Mrs. Fumi Wakama is beautifully and wonderfully made. She's a unique individual who is multi-talented, endowed with creative abilities. She's focused, and in fact, I can say she's a total woman.
Fumi Wakama is not only stylish and beautiful inside out, she is humble and emotionally intelligent. Call her a goal-getter, a trailblazer and achiever, you will be right. These qualities perfectly capture her personality because she goes the extra mile to pursue and achieve whatsoever she is set to do. People say the best thing that ever happened to NTA Abeokuta is having Olufunmilayo Wakama as a general manager, as she has creatively turned around the fortunes of the station. She repositioned the station to an enviable status, restored public power supply to its urban premises after 9 long years of total blackout. She also provided a borehole so that the staff and the host community can enjoy potable water.
For more blessings and for more projects to come the way of NTA from the station. Amen.
Anytime there was thunderstrike, it was a big problem for us in NTA Abeokuta, and I'm sure in a lot of broadcast establishments. But the CTO, the present CTO then told me that, look, there's something we can do. I said, what is it? He said we needed to have an earthen pit. Earthen pit? What is that? He explained to me. How much? Millions. Where do you want us to get that kind of money? He said, but there's a way around it, that we can improvise. Oh, I love that. So they set to work. They dug the pit, more than 12 feet. Dug the pit. We bought all the materials, and everything, and they did it. So now we have a lot of respite. So when thunder strikes, hey, it sends it into the pit and it doesn't bother us like it used to. Also, we're able to provide free internet service, working with one of the service providers. And so in Ogbe, free internet service. Egunya, free internet service. So it's been wonderful.
Fumi Wakama came to NTA Abeokuta with a heart of gold. As an achiever, she accepted the enormous challenge with a strong zeal to succeed. She conquered what seemed unachievable to many within a space of 3 years.
I'd like to appeal to the government and people of Ogun State, private organizations, well-meaning Nigerians, indigenes of Ogun State, to please come and support NTA Abeokuta so that we can go back to that pride of place where we actually belong. I hope and pray, management have also been hoping and praying that His Excellency, Prince Dr. Dapo Abiodun, will hear the cry and heed our appeals for assistance in NTA Abeokuta. For one, the road to Okegunya is begging for help. We've lost so many tires to the potholes on that road. Now, it's not just NTA Abeokuta that is there. There's a whole community, Agoba there. They will benefit from that road if it is fixed for us. There are at least 2-3 churches on that road. There are schools there. So it's not just for NTA Abeokuta. It's going to be of immense benefit to the entire area there. So that's number one. Over there at Okegunya, would really appreciate if the government will put us on the State Independent Power Project, the IPP, because that has steady power supply. With that, all we have to do is to buy our units, load them, and we're good to go. So we'll be saving a lot of money from buying diesel and petrol, because as it is now, we run the 2 gens, we run the small ones as well, we find a way to balance out and everything. But if that help comes, it's going to go a long way to save us a lot of money. Those are quick fixes that the government can do at this time. Another way to assist us is sponsorship. I remember in the past administration we had Missioner on the Move and we had Ogun Weekly. And those 2 programs sustain us. So we're appealing to His Excellency once again, Prince Dr. Dapo Abiodun, to please, look the way of NTA Abeokuta, because we've done a lot for him. He's been on network countless of times. I can say on a weekly basis, NTA Abeokuta will have at least 10 to 15 stories, the bulk coming from Ogun State government.
She will definitely leave an unforgettable mark, a record that will be difficult to beat in the history of NTA Abeokuta.
After having spent 3 years in NTA Abeokuta, surmounted a lot of the challenges, we're looking into the future. We're trying to see how we can take the station to a greater height, how we can introduce more programs. We've done some. We rebranded Shewa, a life phoning program. We brought in Gbedemoke. We brought in Children's Variety. We brought in Obrenya Siku, but due to some technical reasons, we had to suspend. Quite a few of them like that. We're working with FMC to see how we can bring back healthy living, but because of the COVID pandemic, we had to step it down because it's going to require us going to the premises, and we want to see how we can limit as much as possible exposure of staff to contracting the virus. So we've stepped that down for now. But as soon as the pandemic is over, we're going to go full blast. We're going to bring in more programs.
A clear icon of prodigal's hue, Fumi Wakama truly symbolizes excellence in journalism and public service and can be said to be one of the brand ambassadors in Ogun State.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of management and staff of NTA Abeokuta, honestly, sincerely, we want to express our appreciation to the management and staff of Ogun River Basin Development Authority, and particularly to the managing director, Mr. Olufemi Odumosu, for believing in us and supporting us. The chairman of IBDEC, Chief Tunde Ayeni, a big thank you to you once again, sir, for restoring public power supply to NTA Abeokuta after 9 years of darkness. Again, big appreciation to the MD of FMC, Professor Adewale Musa Olumu, for believing in us. You see, because if people don't believe in you, they will not support you. So for those who haven't supported us, in spite of all we've done, maybe because they've not taken their time to listen to us or even give us the opportunity to even be able to pitch to them, we want to ask them, appeal to them to take a cue from these people. A big appreciation to the State Controller of the Federal Fire Service, Controller Abiodun Obisheson, wonderful man. As soon as he assumed duty, he came on courtesy visit, and we talked, and he said he was going to assist us. And honestly, he's done quite a lot for NTA Abeokuta. Another set of people that I'd like to appreciate, that's the pioneers of NTA Abeokuta. I mean, these were people who served here 40 years ago. They came together, particularly, they've been supportive, I mean, right from when I came in. Someone else that I quickly have to talk about at this point in time is the General Manager of Ogun State Television Service. Now, one thing NTA Abeokuta has been able to do under my watch is to build a synergy with other broadcast stations operating within the state and even some outside of the state. From Festus Kennedy, the Commandant Civil Defense, and then so many other people. Some have actually asked me to let us just keep it low. There is one of our clients who was marvelous. Honestly, for close to 3 years, I mean, she provided us everything we needed to run our generator. But she has asked me not to talk about it. I respect her feelings and I will not talk about it. But honestly, sincerely, from the bottom of our hearts, we're grateful to you.
To God be the glory.
He's done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. If I had 10,000 tongues, it still wouldn't be enough. Tuku na kwama really. When you hear completely.
What shall I render to Jehovah?